Alright. Welcome to Blue Pill Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is August 17th, 2026. Currently, it is 11:30 at night. So, most of you probably won't see this or listen to this until tomorrow morning. Abe, I thought you worked during the week. I thought it's late at night. You're supposed to be in bed. I actually have a half day tomorrow, so I don't go until noon. Worked today. It was actually a pretty chill day, pretty easy. I just ended up putting handles on a bunch of cabinets. Helped my buddy build a cabinet. We jumped out to a job site in Versailles. Did some toe kick on a bunch of cabinets. Cutting a bunch of wood. That's about it, man. Just a really, honestly, easy day, man. In the house we were working on, once in a while we get lucky. In the house that we're working on, we'll have like AC and stuff. Because that's the nice thing about cabinets is like we can either install them while it's like a job site, like where with like no AC, like 90-degree heat, still kind of rough looking on the inside. But like today, like a lot. Ow! Did you guys hear that? A lot of the house was done, so we ended up, working on it like with full AC and shit. It was kind of nice. But besides that, yeah, I got a half day tomorrow, so that should be pretty easy. Work's a little slow right now. And what it is we're all caught up. Like there's tons of stuff to do. It's just we're kind of waiting on other people right now. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie though, dude. I came home and I fucking crashed. Like I've noticed here lately, 'cause weekends, man, on weekends I've either been mowing or working on the house, like on the roof and ceiling and shit. So I haven't been able to really have like a day off to rest, which kind of blows. So like here at work, I've noticed on lunch break, I'll eat lunch, but I'll run by the gas station and get like a double espresso. Man, is this blurry or what? But yeah, I've noticed I've gotten back into I drink coffee in the mornings, but usually I don't drink it during the day. And I've noticed here lately, I've been like, yeah, I need coffee at lunch, So tomorrow, it's Tuesday, well, in the next 25 minutes, I probably will be going to the movies tomorrow, so I may have another movie review. This Oak Island movie, supposedly it's like, I think Ewan McGregor's in it. That's the younger guy, I think, who played Obi-Wan Kenobi. Am I wrong on episode 1? Let me know in the comments. Is it Ewan McGregor? Supposedly there's like an A24 horror movie that's supposed to be playing at the movies. On Tuesdays they do half-price movie tickets and free popcorn. So I've been going to the movies, honestly, like every Tuesday if there's something good playing. I didn't go last Tuesday because I'd seen everything I wanted to see, but so I'm gonna probably see that tomorrow. There's a 6:15 showing, so I should be able to make it to it. Plus Sammy has Japanese lessons that day, so it kind of works out. Like I get to go to the movies while she does Japanese lessons. What was I saying though? Oh yeah, so I'll probably end up reviewing it, but I guess like the concept looks okay. It looks like a decent movie. I'm not like amazed it's not like something like I needed to like desperately see or something. But it looked decent. It looked cool. But yeah, it's like it's supposed to be based in Detroit, and like they moved to a neighborhood, and some portal opens, and dinosaurs come through, and like is eating the neighborhood people, and I don't know. It looks okay. So I may end up doing a movie review of that if there's enough to talk about. Who knows? I did end up getting a phone mount for the car, so because I know Red Pill Paradigm. Shout outs to him. He ended up mentioning it. Let me turn this fan on. It's a little warm. But yeah, he ended up mentioning it like, hey man, if you're gonna podcast in the car, you need to get a mount so that way that they can either see the road or see you. And I'm like, okay, I got you. So I do have that set up. As far as updates, that's about it. Oh, I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you choose to donate to the channel, I will send you a signed Conspiracy Corner podcast bookmark. Unless you don't want it signed, you can just message me through Buy Me a Coffee. Helps me pay bills. So let's see. Oh, I am planning within the near future designing and putting out a Blue Pill podcast sticker. Just give me some time. I'm a little busy with life right now, but they will come about. And I will end up sending. I know I'll end up sending some to some people. Just in general. Like there's one guy, he donates all the time. Like he's definitely getting one for free because it's like he's always donating whether he gets something or doesn't, you know. That, and I got a couple family members and stuff like that I'm gonna give some to. So let's get on with the show. So like I said, today's a Blue Pill podcast episode. I've been trying to do like at least one Blue Pill, one conspiracy. But I have here lately. So been currently playing The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls. It's a Japanese cart that I picked up. It's basically like a prequel to Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. A lot of people call it. It's kind of a side game, Zelda-ish. It's in the Zelda universe, the Zelda canon, you know. So, currently been playing it, and usually when I play a video game, I will put something on in the background related to whatever I'm playing. I don't know if anyone else does that, or am I just weird? Because I play on original hardware, you know, so I'll put something on the TV. And I got into video game reviews 2 years ago, I believe. Time flies, man. I believe it's been about 2 years ago I've been getting into video game reviews. I took a huge hiatus, like a while from podcasting, like months, probably like half a year, because I was going through some family stuff. And that looks so much more clear. I needed to clean my camera. It looks so bad. And I just got into like video game reviews. So go check out my game review playlist on Blue Pill Podcast. And I just banged out like review after review after review of video games. Went through a gaming phase, which I'm still in, but not playing or beating as many back to back. But I was starting to doubt myself, and I was seeing other content creators making like not so much video game reviews, but like history of games, like little retrospectives, or like the history behind games, like whether it be real or just like lore of video games. And I was like doubting myself, like, oh, I couldn't do that. And then I kind of started getting into that here recently with especially with the Zelda stuff, because I've been so into Zelda. I've been like, well, I could do some Blue Pill episodes on like different Zelda stuff that's besides a video game review. I don't have to do just video game reviews. So we've done 2 videos or podcast on The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls in general, with Ernest Hemingway and Prince Richard, and like how he plays into the Zelda series. So I wanted to get into. There's a scene. So we already covered 2 episodes ago how The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls is like a play on words of Ernest Hemingway's For Whom the Bell Tolls. But it also, like, the storyline kind of coincides. But I got to playing, and there's a scene in there where you are prince of the land of Sable, the Sable Kingdom, and you turn into a frog and end up getting eaten by a snake. And Princess Tiramisu, who is like the princess you're supposed to be rescuing, hence another Zelda type of it's kind of a Zelda game. Go check out the earlier 2 episodes. You'll see it ties in with, honestly, the Zelda series. I would consider it like a Zelda game. It just reminds me of Link saving Princess Zelda. Well, you're trying to save Princess Tiramisu, and she brings you back to life, essentially, in a cutscene. And it reminded me, this game definitely is playing on an older story of the Frog Prince, you know? So we're going to dive into that. So I believe there was definitely some inspiration of this game, The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, and the original Frog Prince tale of Grimm fairy tales. The Grimm brothers fairy tales. So the plot of basically for The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls is, in a faraway land, 2 princes, Richard of the Custard Kingdom, who is skilled at fencing, and the Prince of the Sable Kingdom, or Sable, because there's an E with the little dash above it, the game's main protagonists, have shared a friendly rivalry since they were children. They often compete, although it usually ends up in a tie or a close win. One day, a messenger arrives from a small neighboring kingdom, warning the princes that the evil King Dalaran has invaded the Mille-Fuile kingdom and captured Princess Tiramisu. So you obviously see there's this evil dude capturing a princess. Sounds a lot like Zelda 1, you know. In another attempt to best Prince of Sable, Richard grabs a boat and sets off towards the kingdom, and the Prince Sable goes after him. While on his journey, he, Richard, and the others are transformed into frogs in an attempt to reveal the true happenings in his kingdom. So, obviously, princes turning into frogs. The main characters is Prince Sable, or Sable, Prince of Sable, also referred to as Prince Sabur, or Prince Sable. The main protagonist of the game, who is named at the beginning by the player. He is a carefree, good-natured, and kind-hearted boy, but is not educated in the ways of the world. He always loses against Prince Richard when they fence, but they remain friends despite their rivalry. The Kingdom of Sable, being the wealthiest and most powerful nation in the land, has provided him with a comfortable life. He never had to worry about money. This upbringing has caused him to think that any problem could be solved by tossing cash at it, which he does many times throughout the game. Through drinking 2 potions brewed by the witch Mandola, he gains the ability to transform into a frog and a snake, and must use these transformations to progress. So Princess Tiramisu, the ruler of the Mille-Fuile kingdom, who is known throughout the land for her beauty, seeking her hand in marriage, King Darlin and his minions, the Crokians, invaded the countryside and laid siege to the castle, and she goes missing shortly after. So Mandola, a witch who wears glasses and knows how to brew magic potions, which turn you into a frog. She is also known. She's also the only one who knows how to destroy King Darlin and restore the kingdom. She has an Osvogel, okay, a condor-like bird named Polnareff as a pet. At the end of the game, it is revealed, okay, spoiler alert, that Mandola, I didn't know this until I read this the other day. I was like, what the fuck? Thanks for spoiling it. Was the Princess Tiramisu assumed to go into hiding? So like one of the villains, basically, you know, um, yeah, is she's Princess Tiramisu in hiding, essentially. So transformations. The frog. You have the human, the frog, and the snake. The frog, after Mandola gives the Prince of Sable the frog potion, he gains the ability to transform into a humanoid frog by entering watery areas. This form has the highest jump height of any form. While in this form, the Prince of Sable can enter water safely and talk to frogs and some soldiers without fighting them. While in the frog form, if the Prince Sable touches an insect-type enemy, he will not engage in a fight. Rather, he will, quote-unquote, eat it, regaining a heart. This form cannot fight snakes or other foes and insect types, and snakes are attracted to it. Besides the Prince of Sable, Prince Richard, Jam, and many others can take this form. But yeah, you can definitely see the similarities between the Frog Prince, an old tale, and the Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls. So the origin of the Frog Prince. The story is best known through the rendition of the brothers Grimm, who published it in 1812 in the edition of Kinder und Hausmärchen, Grimm Fairy Tales, as tale number 1. Oh wow, so this was the very first tale ever in the brothers Grimm Fairy Tales, which is interesting. An older moralistic version was in the Grimm's handwritten Ollenburg manuscript from 1810. Jack Zipes noted in 2016 that Grimm's greatly treasured this tale, considering it to be one of the oldest and most beautiful in German-speaking regions. And there's a lot of influence in the Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, obviously with the Ernest Hemingway. And you can definitely see the resemblances in the story of those two stories. The game and that book, and there's definitely a lot of French influences. If you play the game, you see it, especially the English translation. I'm currently playing the Japanese, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I don't think they actually have a physical English copy. The only thing I've been able to find is ROMs, and I like to have like physical hardware, so. The Grimm source is unclear, but apparently comes from an oral tradition of Dorschen Wild's family in Kassel. The volume 2 of the oldest edition of Kinder und Hausmärchen, published in 1815, included a variation of this story entitled Der Froschprinz, the Frog Prince, published as tale number 13, as this version was not included in later editions. It has since remained relatively unknown. It has been postulated by some scholars that parts of the tale may extend back until at least Roman times. Oh, wow. So this is like ancient, really. Its origins, the Frog Prince. An aspect of the story is referred to as Petronius Satyricon. That sounds like some like Harry Potter. That sounds like a grimoire, dude. In which the character Trimalchio remarks, "Qui fit rana nonce est rex." The man who was once a frog is now a king. Other scholars, however, argued that this may actually be a jab at the Emperor Nero, who basically, if you don't know, is who the Antichrist is in Revelations. Historically, a lot of people believe Revelations was literally talking about Nero. and Rome at the time, the fall of Rome and stuff. It's not actually about the Antichrist. But I'm not going to sit here and argue with the comments section about it. That's up for you to believe or don't believe. It's fine. Look into it, though. There is a lot of evidence that Revelations written by John is not really about our future, but about what was going on with Rome at the time. Because I believe it was John was like exiled to forget the island, but when he wrote it, he was exiled from Rome, like he was in hiding or something like that. But Nero was often mockingly compared to a frog. Interesting. Folklorist Stith Thompson suggested that the story of the Frog King in the German tradition began with a 13th century literary tale written in Latin. So the plot of the Frog Prince is, in the forest, a selfish princess accidentally drops her golden ball into a well. A frog offers to retrieve it in exchange for her friendship. She agrees, but goes back on her word after getting the ball and runs to her castle. The next day, she is eating with her father when the frog knocks on the door and requests to be let in. The king tells his daughter that she must keep her promise, and she reluctantly obeys. The frog sits next to her and eats from her plate, then desires to sleep in the princess's bed. Uh-oh, we got pervy frog. She is disgusted at the idea of sleeping with the frog, but her father angrily chastises her for loathing someone who helped her in a time of need. She picks up the frog and places him in the corner of her bedroom, but he hops up to her bed and demands to sleep as comfortably as the princess. Furious, she throws the frog against the wall. Damn. Grimm's fairy tales, man, if you actually read it, like, I don't know. Yeah, I think Pinocchio was one. Little Mermaid was one. Like, they're actually, like, really fucked up compared to, like... People think Disney's fucked up. Like, no, you should read the Grimm's fairy tales because the actual originals are more fucked up than the Disney movies, you know? So, what does it say? So, she threw the frog up against the wall. Where are we at? Okay. But as he falls to the floor, he is transformed into a handsome prince. He explains that he was cursed by a wicked witch, and the spell could only be broken with the princess's help. The next day, the two go to the princess kingdom, where they will be married. So, like, definitely totally different than what I'm used to. I'm used to basically, I don't recall, like, the version I seen, but essentially, a princess sees a frog in a pond and kisses him, and he turns into a prince. So you definitely, from playing, like, The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, you definitely see the inspirations here, because you have the princess. He states that he was transformed into a frog by a witch. That happens in the game. It's actually Mandola who turns Prince Sable into a frog, and you actually, spoiler, but that's one of the scenes is like you go up to the prince or the witch, and she gives you this potion. The potion doesn't work. She rips you off. Turns out Mandola is actually the princess in disguise, though, so that's an interesting twist. So they're taking the Frog Prince essentially and modifying it. But in modern versions, the transformation is triggered by the princess kissing the frog. That's the one I remember. A motif that apparently appeared in the first in the English translation. So that's probably why, because I've never obviously read the original German. But yeah, that's the one I was raised on, is she kisses him and he turns into a prince. In other versions, it was sufficient for the frog to sleep for 3 nights on the princess's pillow. The Frog Prince also has a loyal servant named Henry or Heinrich, who had 3 iron bands affixed around his heart to prevent it from breaking from sadness when his master was cursed. When the Frog Prince reverts to his human form, Henry's overwhelming happiness causes the bands to break, freeing his heart from its bonds. So we have the distribution here. It is Arne Thompson, type 440. According to German folklorist Hans-Jörg Uther, variants are registered across Europe. In addition, scholars Lutz Royrich, Waldemar Lundman, and dude, this German's killing me. Noted that apart from some isolated attestations in the southern part of the continent and in Eastern Europe, variants of the tales were collected in northern part of Europe, comprising a sort of core area: Germany, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Belgium, and Netherlands, extending to Ireland and Great Britain. So we definitely got the Great Britain version. However, Roerich and Van der Kuy remarked that the variants collected from oral tradition, even in America, clearly go back to the European original. And Uther argues that they are dependent on the Grimm's tale. That argument does not take into account the Scottish version of the story referenced in the 16th century Scottish text, Complaint of Scotland. So, see the classic fairy tales. Interesting stuff. Predecessors are possibly a possible parallel in the time of antiquity may be found in the story of Amy Monet, who was the Dianaids. She went to fetch her water jug because of drought season caused by the gods. A satyr tried to force himself upon her. That's not surprising if you know the history of Pan, but the god Poseidon rescued her. It has been suggested that the amphibian suitor and the handsome prince may have been separate characters at first, and then, I guess, became one. According to the brothers Grimm, they collected another variant from Hesse with a similar narrative of the frog suitor. A king is ill and sends his 3 daughters to fetch some healing water from a well in the courtyard. The elder princess draws some water that is muddy when a frog hops in and asks her to be its sweetheart, saying that others she will only be able to fetch the dirty water. The elder refuses, and so does the middle princess. The cadet princess agrees to be the frog's sweetheart and bring back fresh, clean water for her father. Later, the frog appears at the castle and asks the princess to honor her promise, so she lets the animal in and lets it sleep on her bed with her. But yeah, there we have it. Yeah, The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls is loosely either inspired, somewhat based off of The Frog Prince, along with some inspiration from For Whom the Bell Tolls. So yeah, if you want to hear the 2 previous episodes, we've been doing deep dives on The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls. I made a playlist, The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls playlist on YouTube, so go check it out. And honestly, I would have never heard of this game if I hadn't been doing deep dives on Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. So go check out the Zelda playlist. We've been doing deep dives on it. If you like episodes kind of like this, we did an episode on Zelda 2 talking about how it's based off of Sleeping Beauty, which is another old fairy tale. And you see that a lot with these older video games and stuff, how they were basing them off of older fairy tales, legends, and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I find it very interesting. If you want to see the video game review playlist, there's game review playlist on there. There's a Zelda playlist in general. I'm currently playing through Link's Awakening, the black and white Game Boy version, so I will be doing a review on it. I've already done a review on the DX, which is, there's quite a few differences. So if you want to go check out that, go check it out. We've covered it. But yeah, I'm just playing The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, playing Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. Gonna be doing reviews on both of them. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm not sure. I'll probably end up doing more Conspiracy Corner podcast episodes. So if you're more into that podcast, stay tuned. Love y'all. Y'all have a good day.